Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, though. We're going to be diving into all of the new details on those couple things that came out just recently. Looney Tunes and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We are super excited to tell you guys everything. We've been leaking things about an hour at a time. It's not really a leak if you're the company posting about it. But we've been leaking things about an hour at a time for the last 24 hours since the game came out. It already feels like it's been days since the game came out. I feel like it's been forever. It's absolutely wild that we are sitting here and we can say out loud Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Looney Tunes and not like look over our shoulder.
I still cringe
gosh.
Every time you say that. Oh.
It's scary. We're really bad about it. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. We're really excited to be talking about that with you. We're going to answer some of your questions. We have a gigantic whiteboard in front of us with a whole list of talking points for us to explain to you guys.
This off?
Yeah, I think we could probably start. I mean, we got plenty of people rolling in. It's only 2 minutes after 7. I told people 7. Usually try and wait just a second for everybody to hop in, but yeah.
I guess one cool thing we can kick this off with is those trailers today, those fantastic trailers that we've come a long way. Well, we didn't come a long way on. Zach at Flippin' Out, he actually did those for us. They did a fantastic job, and they're gonna have featurettes tomorrow.
We just got done watching one of the first featurette.
Yeah, it's really good.
That he sent over to us, and it's freaking phenomenal. It just felt so cool for just to see the quality of work that Zach can produce. We really can't thank Zach enough for the time frame that he got these trailers done and the featurettes. Which, that's out there now. Zach Meny and Greg Bone coming up to Benton, Wisconsin. It was more than just a holiday.
I think everybody kind of knew what was going on.
Everybody knew that Zach and Greg were up here shooting a trailer. But yeah, the turnaround that Zach pulled off for us, we are forever in debt to Mr. Zach Meny for that one. So yeah, huge thank you to Zach and Greg and everybody who is a part of the team of Flippin' Out and, of course, Straight Down the Middle. We're going to get ourselves some Straight Down the Middle underwear. As thanks. That's the only way I can think of to show our thanks is to buy their underwear.
Couldn't agree more. I think both shoes are great for price for the. Yeah, we're really excited about the price. Keeping this thing under $10,000 in today's cost of manufacturing it's not an easy thing to do, but we're able to do it. We're really stoked about it and hope to be able to keep doing that.
It was we did get the price even a little bit lower than Scooby-Doo was the collector's edition. It was like $100 cheaper or so than the Scooby-Doo collector's edition, which, I know people probably wanted to see more of a hike down, but I still am very glad that we, first of all, were able to keep it under 10K at all, and second of all, to get it to go even slightly down, I think is phenomenal. I'm really happy with that.
We added to the package as well. We do the full display panel has custom art now, and we added some other stuff. We have the lock bar crest and some additional things. So we're still adding to the package as well, just trying to make every bit of it look as good as we can. On Scooby, I know a lot of people said right away, I remember the comments saying, oh, there's just too much green on the display panel. So we wanted to take care of that right away, and then it's magnetic. So if you wanted to remove it or whatever, if you don't like it, easy.
Which the magnetic decals, they look so nice. They look as nice as interior graphics. They're super sweet. You guys are going to love them. The whistles I got out of Super Sweet was phenomenal.
Voice cracking a little bit first. He's just excited, guys.
It's Looney Tunes. We are feeling loony. We had energy drinks, and we don't really do caffeine too much anymore, so for sure. But yeah, it looks like we have a pretty decent crowd rolled in. We're 5 minutes in, so we can start hitting quite a few of these talking points.
I know. Hold on, we got one to answer here. Vincent is setting up the question of the night here. When you do dual themes like this, do you design one game first, then retrofit the other?
Oh, it's a trap.
This is a trap.
Don't answer this.
I'm gonna answer it.
Oh God.
So on these ones, we were fortunate enough that we had both of these titles. We had them locked up at the same time.
Yes.
So we did design these in tandem. We didn't have to make large sacrifices to one or the other. They're both just really good properties that had a lot of great mech offerings in them and everything. So
especially like the world of Looney Tunes, the flexibility you can have on what goes into that game. There's nothing that doesn't make sense because there's so many episodes over so many decades, so many different iconic features that people want to see. It was phenomenal. We got to design them both together at the same time. And
I think another thing that shows is we're doing the same amount of units. And from everything I've heard today from talking to our distributors and just looking, it seems like they're pretty neck and neck as far as unit numbers and all that. They're just perfectly tied.
So yeah, my prediction from out of the gate, was that I felt like TCM was going to have the stronger following at the very start, but that as people saw more of Looney Tunes and started remembering all the episodes that they grew up on and seeing the characters and hearing the sounds, that Looney Tunes was going to quickly catch back up to it and maybe even pass it in the future.
That's kind of how it even was for me, because I went home when we first started talking about it and started watching those, and I realized how quickly a lot of that stuff flooded back to me. I was like, wow, this is
an iceberg
way better than I
effect.
remember.
Like, you get to the top of the iceberg and it's like Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, yeah, we know. But then you start going down the iceberg and you start remembering, like, oh my god, that episode and that song and this character, and we've literally been seeing that happening online. People have been just like posting their favorite episodes underneath posts and on Pinside and everything, and it's literally the iceberg effect. Everybody's finding everything that's so nostalgic to them about Looney Tunes. It's really phenomenal.
Chris is in there. One thing too is that just noticing the details of it, the little things in it that you don't remember. There's so many small jokes and just little nuances to it.
And plenty of insight.
Your stream still rolling over?
Yeah,
it was loading for it.
We're a little unstable. Twitch is a little behind Facebook. It looks
Luke Peters cannibalizing is only in TCM. Yes.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes is slightly more family friendly, so.
Yeah, I mean, talk about different themes.
Well, that's what we wanted.
Like, we really wanted to emphasize how different they are, because like with Halloween and Ultraman, Halloween, obviously an adult horror movie. Ultraman was a Japanese kids show. But, I mean, they still weren't so drastically different. The way that Texas Chainsaw and Looney Tunes are so different is just, it's literally apples to oranges. It is a night and day difference between the two games, which I have a lot of things to say about that once we start talking about the code between the two. But it's really, they're just not even slightly the same.
This is a true horror movie, too. Like, this is a true horror game. This is all the way. We went all the way in on the, and Ben Heck will be the first one to say he can't wait to tell you. He's like, I did not hold anything back.
I wanted to make sure it was as sadistic as we could possibly make it. He's like, we're not holding back.
Chris, we actually had Joe Newhart in the office. He stopped by and he played both of them, and it was a lot of fun being able to watch him just take them all in for the first time and everything. And they're so different with having the two full teams and the two full rule sets. They just feel so different when you actually play them. It doesn't feel like you're playing the same game, which I think that was a big thing people were probably looking at going in as well, is are these just going to feel like the same game reskinned? And I don't think when you get into it that you're going to feel that way. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. We're excited. This is a game, I think, too, that as people get their hands on it, it's only going to catch on. It's just going to keep growing and growing. It's such a good layout. I think the layout is something that people have been looking for from us for a long time. Like, it really bites in.
I really think this is going to be our most accessible layout, especially even to the tournament crowd, which is, very infamously never really quite worked with our games in the past. Like, you just don't see a lot of spooky pinball games in tournaments. I think this is going to be the game that really breaks into that market, because it caters to both sides. The way that most people want pinball to cater to both sides. I mean, it's a book that's written for kindergartners and college PhD graduates. Everybody has to be able to enjoy the same book. But I would love to start hitting some of these points here. These talking points that we have. We're going to read
these for the rest of the stream.
Oh, Terrence Reds, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Super excited to have you.
For the rest of the stream, we're just going to read directly off the teleprompter. There will be nothing else. We're reading straight off it.
Yeah. Mostly I want to get to these points on the board because it's going to answer a lot of your questions that are in chat that I'm seeing right now.
Look at Kingpin Chris out there throwing an ad out for Pinball Star. He's good guys. Supporting each other.
Absolutely.
Nice job, guys.
Phenomenal.
So I guess one of the first talking points we have is just code progression. Everyone's going to be a huge sticking point was early code on Halloween and Ultraman. And when we came to Scooby-Doo, they were looking, I want to see code at launch. And I think we took a huge step forward with that. The development team grew immensely.
We definitely proved on Scooby-Doo that we can come into a game launch with far enough code, for sure. I mean, Scooby-Doo had a lot of modes in it, a lot of multi-balls. It had a lot of the key items and features people wanted to see at launch. Well, now coming into a dual theme release, we wanted to make sure both games were at that point. And I can very safely say both games are past what Scooby-Doo was at code launch.
How many modes? We're looking at just a huge mode counter. They're definitely both past 10 modes already. We have multi-balls. And we hired the right guys for the job. I mean, Ben.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Even Ben. Ben Heck hasn't coded a game in a while. Since AMH, right?
Yeah, I do believe AMH was his last game, and we honestly, like, as we brought Ben onto the project, we were like, we really got to make sure Ben's like caught up to date on what modern pinball machines are really supposed to be capable of, as opposed to how AMH was back in the day.
I was lecturing him, like, Ben, you do understand the depth that people are expecting out of modern pinball.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, he made us look silly. That guy is
a savant. He is exceptionally good. He is just so insanely talented, and he gets it beyond just, the shots need to be flashing during the modes and whatnot. He understands the choreography, the sound design, the moments that you have to be creating in a machine. He is an absolutely phenomenal programmer, and I think you guys are going to be really blown away with how much he has in this game at the launch. I mean, his mode count and what those modes do is just bonkers. He really went above and beyond.
And he understands how a pinball. He can design a pinball mechanism. He actually did a lot of the concept for the backboard, but he understands how the mechs work, how everything works, and then the guy basically he can make a movie. Like, he's got movie choreography level stuff.
He has made a movie.
He probably has. He's made everything. There's nothing he hasn't made. But him being able to apply that knowledge of movies and like cinematography and everything, you actually feel those moments in the game, and that's what I love. It just blows me away. I can't believe what he's done. I really can't.
And then on Looney Tunes, we have Eric Prepke. So Rick and Morty, obviously one of, if not our most popular game to date in Spooky Pinball history. And what's the main thing people talk about with Rick and Morty? The freaking code. People are like, that game is just so stinking fun and hilarious and entertaining and challenging and everything under the sun that they want. They're like, that's Rick and Morty's code. So obviously, doing Looney Tunes, getting Eric Prepke on the code for it, you kind of can know what to expect. You know what Eric brings to the table when he codes a game. So I think,
I actually saw that comment today. Somebody brought up they were like, who is coding this, or is the code going to be good or anything? And the next comment was just like, it's Eric Prepke. You're good. ...
Dude, it's going to be taken care of. Absolutely, yeah. So, one of the biggest things we knew going into a dual theme, and I saw somebody posting this online that when they originally asked me if you were to ever do a dual theme again, how would you go about it? Because obviously we knew people would have some apprehensions. We learned a ton doing Halloween and Ultraman, and I said if we ever did a dual theme again, I know ways we could go about it that would make it significantly better. And I seriously think we hit every single one of those points, and the biggest point being having two completely development teams on the games. So there's no crossover between the two games. Everybody working on Looney Tunes is working on Looney Tunes. Everyone working on TCM is working on TCM, and they both have full designated teams as well. So each game is getting the treatment as if it was the only game coming out that year. So that is definitely was the biggest point for us doing a dual theme that we knew we needed to hit. And I feel very confidently that we absolutely did hit it. Twitch is very unstable with us tonight. But
is it?
It's okay.
Is it doing a lot of loading?
Yeah, it just keeps backing up. I'm not even sure how far behind it is right now.
Are they doing all right in there? Or are they like?
Oh yeah. Chat's great.
Okay. Next, what do we got here, buddy?
Yeah.
Art,
so
you can go on your art.
Go on an art tear?
Yeah,
go on an art tear.
Go on a race.
Yeah, so let's start with...
Gonna be a fun trip, Zach says.
Come on, Franklin. Zach Manny. Thanks for joining us, Zach. Art, let's talk about that. So, Looney Tunes. There is one man on that Looney Tunes artwork, and he is a freaking
That's all it takes.
Beast, dude. He is phenomenal. So, a long time ago, artist reached out, and he said, hey, I recently got into pinball, and I was hired on by Deep Root. Please keep reading.
Yeah.
That was in his email. He was like,
entry.
please keep reading this email. And he's like, I've really fallen in love with pinball. I've designed like 9 games, did the art packages for like 9 games for Deep Root. And so eventually we had a meeting. We started talking with him. And he's this really energetic, happy, young guy named Brad Duke. And when he was showing us his artwork, it was like, oh, damn, like, he is really good. He understands what pinball art is supposed to do, because there's a huge difference between good art and good pinball art. And Brad Duke just freaking has it, man.
He made our printer do things that we didn't know our printer could do.
Oh my god, he brought out colors and vibrancy that we didn't know was possible in our artwork, that every time we got something new in, we were just all completely blown away. We'd be sharing it with everybody, not in the public, but we'd be sharing it with everybody. Nap Arcade.
Wearing it on the back of your shirt.
And ever since bringing him on board, we had him working on a few things with Scooby-Doo initially, actually. He was working on some elements in that game as far as on-screen goes. And we figured we would just let him take a stab at the Looney Tunes cabinet. And what he sent back as a concept was so impressive. And we were like, yeah, dude, like, you've got this. You're on this project.
He did the rough concept, and I was like, can we just print that? That's already top level, dude.
I know. I still want to print, like, his rough concept, because it's quite different than what ended up actually being on the game, but I still love his rough concept, honestly. So, yeah, Brad Duke, just an absolutely outstanding artist. He did all the cabinet, backglass, playfield. He designed the Acme Factory assets and everything that goes on screen. Like, the world that Brad Duke created in this machine is just, it's him, man. Like, he is so creative and innovative with everything he did. And once you can really see the playfield in person and everything, and you see how much those colors pop in real life, you're going to be blown away. The dude freaking gets it. So, yeah, big thanks to Brad Duke for joining the Spooky crew on this project. I would love to keep working with him in the future. We already have him working on some more stuff in the future that I'm really excited for people to see. So, fantastic.
We got Hilton over there in the Twitch chat.
Mr. Hilton, we're going to talk about you eventually.
Some tournament rules to our games. So
let me finish art.
Yelling at me all the time.
Yeah. So then, over on TCM, back when we did Halloween, the Jason Edmonston art package was insanely popular. I mean, a lot of people considered it the greatest horror art package of all time in pinball. And there's even those people out there who say it's the best pinball art package of all time. We knew Texas Chainsaw Massacre being the classic horror icon that it is, it needed to get the same treatment. So we, working with Terry Wolfinger, who is a phenomenal horror artist. You need to check out his website and his Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, because all of his horror artwork and pieces are just absolutely top-notch, top-of-the-game horror artist. So got him onto the project. He went ahead, he crushed the backglass, he did the whole cabinet, and he even did most all of the playfield layout and plastics. What we did beyond that is a couple years ago I made friends with a Mr. Christopher Franchi, who
and he now sings you happy birthday.
Yeah, and now he sings me happy birthday. He just kept like knocking on my door saying, "Bug, can we do art together?" And I was like, okay. So we wanted to bring Mr. Franchi onto the project because he obviously has the pinball art touch. Yeah. He really understands how to bring pinball into artwork. So like Terry Wolfinger doing the horror artwork, Franchi knew exactly how to bring that horror artwork on the playfield into pinball and really make it work. And then on top of that, Franchi did a lot of the plastics and decals and all of the on-screen artwork that you'll be seeing in the game as well.
I think it just gives it that look too, where it's the traditional like movie poster horror artwork base.
Yeah.
We brought to pinball with proper shot lines and all that stuff.
We wanted to have the art resemble the movie, which is grimy, but also just strangely beautiful, and you can't take your eyes off of it. But Mr. Terry Wolfinger and Mr. Christopher Franchi both did an absolutely exceptional job on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's been a pleasure working with Mr. Christopher Franchi. Looking forward to doing some more things with him in the future. That's an App Arcade article right there.
Yeah, he actually blackmailed us into the next project.
Yeah, that was really funny.
You can't tell that story yet, though.
No, I can't. I won't.
These guys over here, Chris is asking about the video clips, how they'll be presented and everything with the voices. It's the same presentation as Scooby, right?
Yeah. So, talking about Looney Tunes, if you're familiar with how the assets and everything on on Scooby-Doo was handled, Looney Tunes honestly received the exact same treatment for the most part.
Yeah, so there was 22 episodes in the first season, or the first 2 seasons of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo Where Are You was 22 episodes, right?
That sounds right, yeah. I think it's like 13 and 15 or something like that. Yeah. That sounds right.
Something along those lines, but so we already have 20 episodes in Looney Tunes, and then we're actually requesting more, so hopefully, I believe there's a good chance that we're going to get accepted on that. I hope so.
I'm very confident we can get some more stuff in the future. But to your point, so we went and we got over 20 Golden Era Looney Tunes episodes that are featured
which is already
in the game.
As much as Scooby-Doo. I mean,
it's already literally Yeah, you're right. It's as much as we have access to in Scooby-Doo. So one thing I knew that would happen with Looney Tunes is because there's so many episodes and so many characters, and if there's one thing I've learned in the last 24 hours, every single person under the sun has a different favorite episode and a different favorite character. So, like I said, we've already got over 20 episodes into the game. We're going to keep a very close eye on what people want to see in the future, so I can go and try and acquire some more.
So, yeah, our custom callouts list. Go through that. How many voices did Eric Bauza do?
So let's talk about Eric Bauza. So Eric Bauza is the Looney Tunes voice actor. I mean, he does everything for those guys at Warner Brothers on pretty much everything new that comes out. So in this game, Eric Bauza is primarily featured, so we did the most lines for the characters Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Tweety Bird, Marvin the Martian, and Elmer Fudd. But Eric Bauza went ahead and he did some more voices beyond that. In fact, depending on what episode is featured and whatnot. I've seen a lot of characters that people were like, oh, I really hope they got this one. He went ahead and did those as well. So Eric Bauza was phenomenal to work with. I mean, his dedication to Looney Tunes, like his passion really, really shined because as I had him doing some of the call-outs from those Golden Era episodes, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to really direct him on how to sing this certain song the correct way, like if it's related to like What's Opera Doc with the Kill the Wabbit songs.
But he remembered everything, right?
I didn't have to. He would get to the section, and I would be getting ready to say something on how he needed to enunciate and sing the song. He had it memorized. Like he's just the biggest Looney Tunes fan in the world. He had all the songs memorized by beat, like by down to the very perfect note. Just an absolutely exceptional talent to have worked with on this game.
Yeah, Chris, I think that Chris commented and said that we're applying assets correctly. I think that a lot of the things that you're looking for right now as far as pricing, what we're including with it, and then getting all of the assets actually integrated into the game with mechanisms that actually interact with the ball. I really think we're doing a lot of the things that people are asking for. I really think we are. And I think, this layout's going to speak for itself, too. There's no doubt about that. So
I'm going to make a quick adjustment over here on Twitch.
What do you got going on?
I'm just going to lower the...
All right, I'll keep bothering everyone over here on Facebook. So, I saw some stuff. Somebody asked a question that I knew we wanted to touch on next.
There we go. Maybe we'll see if that helps it.
Came over to Facebook, Twitch audio lagging bad, FYI.
Yeah, sorry about the Twitch side being down. I think it's just because we're both streaming in Luke's house right now. He's got that country internet.
Well, it's the Tesla stuff.
You guys are all about the Tesla. Where were we before that, though? Yeah, we were talking about assets.
Oh, assets. TCM. One gentleman asked how the assets are being... This is really good. So, on TCM, we have full reign of the movie, right? We have we can play the whole thing on the back box.
Access. I know everybody was going to be asking about that the next time we did a horror theme. We have the full freaking movie. Every last possible second that you want, we have access to, and we use a metric bleep ton already in this game. I mean, we did not hold back on the assets whatsoever. It is all over the place. A lot of people wondering what we have for callouts in TCM because, it's an interesting movie to go and work with as far as callouts go. So what we did is Mr. Edwin Neal, the original Hitchhiker voice actor.
And you heard some of his callouts in the trailer.
In the trailer, yeah. So Ed Neal, the original Hitchhiker voice actor, is reprising his role as the Hitchhiker in the game. So, in the game, you're playing as the family. So the Hitchhiker is kind of like your crazy brother that's like helping you get through everything, and like he's kind of like making fun of you or giving you some support and whatnot as you go through the game. And then as a more narrative voice to kind of supply the rules and the directions in the game is we brought back Scott Innes. So Scott Innes, very, very insanely talented
really
voice actor. Obviously known for his fame in Scooby-Doo. I mean, he voices Shaggy and Scooby and all of the monsters in Scooby-Doo Pinball. And a million other things that he's done. But yeah, we basically had Scott do the narrator from the beginning of the film. So when the film opens with John Larroquette, if I said his name right, doing that opening narration, we had Scott Innes take on that role. So Scott Innes and Edwin Neal. And Hitchhiker, he's phenomenal. I don't know if you guys have checked out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game that is out, which is also based on the original film. and is with the same licensor that we're working with, actually. So the whole time that game launch was happening, I was talking to the licensor like, this is insanely cool, guys. Like, I'm so happy this is going so well for you. It's been a phenomenal year for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for sure. But, Ed Neal did the voice work for that video game as well. So it's really cool that, like, so many people in the world right now are getting to hear his voice as the hitchhiker again. I mean, how many thousands of people bought that video game and played? I played the crap out of it when it came out for market research.
Well, even when Charlie heard those call-outs, he was like, he still sounds that good. He
still sounds that good. Yeah, because, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was made 50 years ago. Like, there was concerns about, like, is this going to sound good enough? Yeah. He's still the hitchhiker, man. He sounds phenomenal in the game.
I got a good one here from Michael Moore. If one bought both, would they be significantly different experiences without affecting the flow? Ask Joe Newhart at Pinball Star. He spent a couple hours playing both, and he seemed to, he really thinks so. I think with the two entirely different rule sets, to me, when I play the game, they feel like two full games. They don't feel like the same thing.
They're such a different world.
In this case, I think the twin pair of them next to each other could be really, really fun.
It makes more sense than it did before. So the rules have virtually nothing in common. I mean, with how the mechanisms function in the game, there's some similarities there, but the structure of how you go about the modes, what's in the modes themselves, how you get the wizard modes, and actually even the insert layout is different between the two games. Completely different code packages between the two games, so it's a completely different experience on each of them.
Just the lighting, even the lighting, everything feels different.
That's because, not to reiterate this again,
two people made light shows.
Two completely different development teams. I mean, it's literally two development teams that designed it as if it was the only game being made.
I knew Chris was going to call me out on that. He's like, a distributor said that? Yes. But I can see the excitement in his face, Chris. He meant it.
Oh, what should we talk about
You can
next?
fly out. We'll fly you out here too, Chris. You can come hang out in my office and play them if you want. You'll smile. I guarantee it. I guarantee you can't play them without smiling.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to. Let's answer a question. I've been hitting all these talking points up here.
Yeah, I got some over here too. I'm coming, he says. All right, let's make something happen, dude.
Do it.
Actually, we might come to you at some point, honestly.
Or both. We can both.
What's the most expensive? We don't.
Is there's a motel in Benton?
You're gonna have to stay in another town.
Yeah.
But you know, you could probably get a house around here for the cost of a hotel in New York.
Looks like most people are ditching the Twitch stream over for Facebook.
Okay.
Which is cool. We won't. I don't think. When's Houston Expo? I don't think we'll be there. We'll be at the Texas Pinball Festival, of course. Mm-hmm. I believe Texas Pinball Festival will be the first show that Looney Tunes and TCM are at. Which I love that Texas Pinball Festival is the first show that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going to be at. I just think that's important. Yeah. I just think that's very, very fitting. But
two spooky guys did that was us. We were the two spooky guys that did
Oh, yeah.
an interview with Zen.
Yeah, that was way back when.
We haven't done anything with it yet, but maybe someday. We'll see.
We'd love to do something with them. I mean,
I'm really a fan of their stuff. I am.
Yeah, I really do think Zen Pinball's phenomenal.
What else do we have to hit on for people?
Hey, people keep asking who designed this game.
Who designed this game?
I don't know. Am I sitting next to him?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. No, we did it, and honestly, we set out. One of our main priorities in this was we're not going to do an upper playfield. We are going to do a 4-ramp, 4-flipper, upper loop shooting freaking monster.
We were pretty burnt out on the upper playfields. Luke and I are we don't like doing the same thing over and over again. We get bored really quickly. So we wanted to try and do a layout that was completely different. And the shots in this freaking game, dude, like, they are unlike anything you and I have ever done, but also Spooky Pinball has ever had. I mean, the combination possibilities are absolutely bonkers. Like,
people can see some of them in the trailer. They're going to see even more of them in the featurettes.
You can
really start to soak in what they do.
Yeah, when the featurette for Looney Tunes comes out, I'm sure, I haven't seen the TCM one yet, but as soon as you see the featurette in Looney Tunes, we really dive into the layout and just how dynamic and crazy it is. I think you will really, really love how this one shoots. I think it's going to be the most accessible shooter for a lot of people. I think it's going to make both the homeowners happy and the tournament players. I think it's going to be really phenomenal.
People are asking about a stream. So the stream, we're going to schedule it really soon. We just need a green light, basically, right? So
yeah. So as of right now, I don't foresee a Looney Tunes stream happening until January.
It's going to take Warner Brothers longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not stuff we can really get into the details on. It just has to do with approvals, licensing things. I don't think you're going to see a Looney Tunes stream until January, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a different story. We should be able to get to that one sooner. We can't give any hard deadlines just yet, but we will very hopefully be doing a TCM one much sooner in January.
I expect we'll get the green light on that one pretty quick here. And a big misconception as well is the difference between approved. There's a difference between approved for marketing and approved to be in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like we have all these things already in the game, and they're all approved to be in the game, but it's separate from marketing, and I don't even quite understand it myself. But
yeah, we don't need to touch any of that too much tonight. But we're definitely going to be doing some fun gameplay stuff. I'm really excited to show you guys how much is in the game and how damn good it's flipping. A lot of people asking about shipping.
Yeah, we're hoping for almost exactly the same rollout as what we did on Scooby-Doo.
As what we had for Scooby-Doo, yeah.
So on Scooby-Doo, we released it December 10th, something like that, I think. It was pretty close.
I think it was the 9th.
The 9th, okay. But we basically, we get everything in. We're working on that all the way up to Christmas. We send everyone home for vacation. And then we really pretty much finalize them all in January, and then we start getting them into homes in February. So I don't predict it. We're a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. I don't predict any big holdups or anything like that. We're looking good. Just got to get them put together and do a good job and roll them out in quality shape for everybody. So
yeah, a lot of people asking about like the Scooby-Doo when the production of that'll be finishing. We still have a couple hundred of those left to be building right now. Something I wanted to let everybody know though is that Scooby-Doo will still be available for purchase.
That's a big part of our expansion, really.
So something we're really hoping to be doing over these next few years here is to build a catalog that people can buy from. So that you'll have options when you go to the Spooky Pinball website or when you contact one of our distributors. You'll have options between 3, 4, maybe even 5 games. Now, if one sells out, that's a different story because we will not go back and do games that sell out that are licensed. So if one of these 2 games sells out, or if Scooby-Doo sells out in the near future here, then production on that is closed. You will not be able to get it any further. But as of now, until something sells out, it will stay available for purchase, and will be worked into the production line.
Yeah, so
which is something I'm really excited about. I love that there will be options for everybody on our website.
Unless they sell out, then there's nothing we can do there.
Then it's tough. Sorry, kid. I'm so sorry about the Twitch side.
Yeah, it's all your fault. I've been handling everything perfectly fine over here on Facebook.
Joke's on you, I still have the mouse.
Yeah, he does. He's controlling me. I'm like the little brother right now that doesn't really have a controller. How many times do you scolded
Pops for only saying 750?
No, honestly, I don't mind that at all. I like that game was 750 units. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing too. Everyone says make more, but then the runs never equal what they did in the first time around. They just don't.
Maybe I might end the live stream on Twitch and go back live real quick.
Okay. You do that over there.
I'm gonna give the Twitch live stream a reboot here. We'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, one thing you're never gonna see from us is you're not gonna see us go back on our word as far as unit counts or anything. There's no amount of money that's worth it to us. It's just not it. We really do take it seriously when we do a limited edition of something, and we want to retain that for people.
The stopping of the stream is taking forever. Something I really want to talk about in just a second here. I want to tell you guys about the stories of what the games are doing and what they're about. Because the Looney Tunes one especially is a really cool original concept that I think you guys are going to be into. The Texas Chainsaw one also a very cool original thing that's never been done before.
I saw on I think it was Pinside last night. A gentleman commented, and he was like, "Oh, Looney Tunes, I hope you're collecting films."
Yeah, and it was like,
we got good news for you, buddy.
You're gonna be a happy boy. Okay.
Would we do a second version of the same? Yeah, so we said from the beginning on Rick and Morty even, if we did Rick and Morty again, we would build an entire new Rick and Morty 2 or a Rick and Morty game from the ground, we would never sell another one of the same Rick and Morty game.
Alrighty. So, I got the Twitch side back alive, I think. I'm going to give that just a second here, and then I want to dive into what these games are about.
Yeah, hurry up on your spiel, man.
I'm sorry if everybody over on Facebook's like, ours is working, you can tell us. And you're absolutely right.
Will Looney Tunes have a code difficult to decode? So they are a little tougher games. They're tougher games than Scooby-Doo. There's no doubt about that. But they shoot so smooth. It's weird. You get on when you get rolling, you just get rolling in that game because every flipper feeds a habit trail, and every habit trail feeds another flipper, and you have a shot at a ramp from that. So when you get into a groove and you're hitting ramps, it just keeps rewarding you with those shots. So, all
right. So what are these games about? I'm going to start with Looney Tunes. We've got Mr. Luke Peters is back on the rules for Looney Tunes. If you're familiar, he did all of the rules and story on Scooby-Doo, and he's back again for the Looney Tunes. So, Looney Tunes. So it's not just a greatest hits compilation where we're playing those classic Golden Era episodes. It's actually got a narrative story behind it that ties in the Golden Era episodes in a really fun way. So, what's going on is you're essentially an Acme Factory recruit. So the Tasmanian Devil has showed up to the Acme Factory, and he's completely destroyed it. He goes through, he whirls around, he absolutely wrecks everything in there. And Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, all of the Looney Tunes characters and friends are hiring on recruits, and they're going to be going through the Acme Factory and restoring it. They're going to be collecting gadgets, repairing them, and you're going to, most importantly, be collecting film footage, because all of the Looney Tunes Golden Era film footage is stored in the Acme Factory. So in the game, you're collecting shots, which is collecting film footage. You're putting the film footage back together, and then once you have enough white shots to start a film, you go into the theater and you enjoy a full episode of the Golden Era Looney Tunes. So, for example, you're in the Acme Factory, you're shooting your white shots, collecting your footage, and then you go in and you start What's Opera Doc or Rabbit Transit, Duck Amuck, tons of classic episodes that everybody will be wanting to see. So it's really cool. I'm really happy that the game has a story behind it, like a narrative story behind those Golden Era episodes. And there's also so many cool, fun things that we're doing inside the Acme Factory that I think people are going to be really into. But beyond that, I mean, like I said, we have the 20 episodes. There's Marvin the Martian gadgets that you'll be interacting with. There's a really cool, and I know a lot of people want to know what that second flipper button does. It's very reminiscent to like Mario Kart. So in the Acme Factory, you'll be collecting the gadgets, which will be functioning as power-ups that you can be using. So you can be cycling through these power-ups and gadgets that you have and using your action button to activate them. You know, whether that's giving you more scoring or ball save or other crazy ideas that Mr. Luke Peters has had. But
and he's done some good modes too. He has.
Yeah, there's some really creative modes over in Looney Tunes for sure. I'm really happy with what Luke Peters has put together on this game.
I think what I appreciate the most about it is just that he did do a whole overarching story that just makes sense. You get it. When you walk up to it, you know what you're doing. I really like that he did that.
Yeah, and it just incorporates all the fun things about the Looney Tunes world all into one game. So, yeah, absolutely amazing job by Luke Peters over on that game.
Another comment I got the other day, watching somebody play, he was just like, I got it right away. Sometimes I've had trouble. You walk up to a game and you don't understand the rules right away, but he just understood what he was doing right away. Yeah, that's really cool.
For sure. Joe really took to it. So then, over on the TCM side, what we're doing there that is really cool, that I'm excited about, because I don't know if it's what everybody was expecting us to do, is in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you are playing as the family. You are not a victim in this game. You are a killer, and you're going to be acting like one the whole time.
And that's never been done, right?
I don't think there's ever been a game. I mean, like, Halloween bounces back and forth between that.
Between the killer. But this is, like,
but this one is very defined as, like, no, you are breaking down this door. You are tormenting this poor soul when you get in there.
It's a horror game.
You are grinding up meat. You're serving dinner. Like, it's really beautifully sadistic.
And again, you know it. Like, you know right away, I'm the killer. And I'm the villain in this game.
It's made very apparent that you are a part of the the Slaughter family. Rules on that game, it's a whole team of us on that game. So Mr. Ben Heck, obviously being the code guy, he's chipping in a whole bunch.
You can't leave Ben out of anything.
Ben is going to have his input. I myself worked a lot with Ben on what the modes will be doing and how they'll be functioning and everything. And we brought on a very special friend.
He's in the chat.
He's in the chat? We brought on a very special friend for the rules on Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
He's a very knowledgeable gentleman
He knows way more about tournament scoring than I do.
And he's been routing our games for a long time.
Yeah,
he's been getting one of our earliest games actually our first game on location.
He's saying hi in the chat right now. He's so adorable. Mr. Hilton Jones.
Hilton Jones himself.
Stepping in to help out on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre rules. It's been a freaking blast working with Ben and Hilton. It feels good to have those guys. It really does. Honestly, like when we're at Ben's house working on the game, and it's the three of us talking and going over rules and figuring out what's fun, it's a freaking blast.
Well, I remember you called me on your way home, and you were just like, "This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it should feel to make pinball."
Gosh, the just even going over the littlest details with Ben on what we want to see in each of the modes. These minor things that some people probably won't even ever notice, but it felt really important to us. It was just as much fun as I've ever had working on code for a pinball machine before. Like, truly, the Texas Chainsaw is the most fun I've ever had working on code.
And you can tell programmers, they get it or they don't. Like, some guys just get it. They know every detail. They know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I want to really personally thank Hilton for joining us on the project and everything. It's been an absolute blast. We appreciate your support over the years routing games. We've always really valued your opinion when you came into the shop and checked out the games.
He'll give me his opinion even more.
You could also give us your opinion just a little less.
Yeah.
But
no kidding.
But oh my God, what a freaking blast!
We
designing the Texas Chainsaw with Ben and Hilton.
This team in particular was a great team to work on games with. It was good.
Here's a random. I don't know. I just feel the need to share this.
Oh God, here we go.
there's a mode in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the gas station where obviously, the Slaughter family. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie. By the way, obviously, the Slaughter family owns the gas station. The cook works at the gas station, so we incorporated that into a mode in the game. And you're selling items to people, including barbecue, which is cooked people. But you're selling items to people. Ben is so meticulous that, first of all, he made sure all the pricing on all of the items was accurate to 1974 Texas. But beyond that, if you go back to this mode, like you replay the mode later, he accounts for inflation and includes it on the pricing of the items.
You're not going to get that anywhere else, folks.
No! Like, his attention to detail is so freaking bonkers when it comes to those things.
Not getting that anywhere else.
That's dude
Ben Heck.
really, really cares about the details, down to the smallest. Like, we'll be playing a mode, going over what I want the shots to do in it and how we should be changing them around or whatever, and he'll be more like, that text on screen isn't wiggling. We need to get wiggling that text. It's not perfect. And I'm like, Ben, it's okay. Not all the text has to wiggle. Like, let's focus on something. He's like, no, it's got to be perfect.
He's not just wiggling text. He's wiggling text to the rhythm of the chainsaw.
He'll be doing it like to the beat of the intro of the chainsaw with the mode.
And he actually knows when the last time the chainsaw was oiled and the chain was tightened by the timing
I'm shocked
of the
there
teeth.
Isn't a oil your chainsaw mode in the game where he's like, well, you couldn't just pick up a chainsaw and start it like that. Like, you have to take care of the teeth. And I'm very shocked he hasn't put that in the game yet. Probably just gave him the idea.
It's been great. What else do we got? Did we skip anyone? I don't want to skip over anyone. We worked with so many good people on this.
We did.
Where's Don too? Don's Pinball Pot.
He was on Twitch. He might
have
dipped.
Oh, he dipped on Twitch because your junk Twitch stream made my man leave.
Don't call the stream junk. It was gonna win a Twippy. God damn it! I was taking on K-Dog.
Yeah, I got the hardball questions over here.
Sorry about that. Who else do we want to talk about?
Yeah.
How about Mr. Jeff Dixon on the animations? Let's talk about animations between the two.
He's been a great ad as well.
Yeah, Jeff Dixon, a friend of Mr. Brad Duke, who also happened to work at Deep Root.
I'm not looking at
the camera.
Handled
all of the animations on Looney Tunes over there. So Brad Duke designing the Acme factory, all the characters and what they do in there, and Jeff Dixon applying a very meticulous amount of detail to every ounce of animations in there. I love this one animation he did of those extendo punching gloves where it's like the springs. I remember us sending him like the flat art files for it. He was like, I can't wait to spend way too much time making sure all the springs perfectly engage up and down.
Nice.
And everything. The dude's an absolute professional, an absolute blast to work with, and we've loved having him on board. And then, how about this spicy new detail on Texas Chainsaw Animations? This is a funny one. So, we've grown really close with Matt Montgomery over the years, who's done all of the music on our games since Alice Cooper, pretty much. He's done all of the original music in our games and does what I think is one of the most innovative, creepy, and awesome jobs ever on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's almost like he's an
actual rock star.
Yeah, it's like he's a freaking rock star. But talking with him, I mean, he's got this series on YouTube called
Don's here.
Don,
he's back.
Welcome back, Don. Thank you for joining us.
We missed you.
But anyway, Matt Montgomery, he's got a wonderful TV series called Metal and Monsters on the Gibson channel on YouTube. You should totally check it out. It's all about those two things, metal music and monsters. And I just noticed like how well edited and put together the series is, and I was talking to him about that. And he's like, oh, yeah, I do all the animations and editing on quite a bit of stuff. And I was like, you're an animator? Yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm a pretty good animator. I never told you that? And I was like, no, dude, you've never brought it up once ever. And he's like, well, I always thought you were just focused on the music stuff with me. And I was like, dude, we're always trying to hire animators and everything.
Stop. The nursing home got Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Charlie must have logged into his Facebook.
The Charlie has appeared. But, so Matt Montgomery doing the animations on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because the guy just can't stop finding new talent. Holy crap.
When you got it, you got it.
And they are really goddamn fun. I can't wait for you guys to see the featurette video that Zach Meny is putting together. I think you're really going to just lose it. But, yeah.
Jake, are you getting one of the games? Which one are you getting? Are you getting one?
I think Jake's a TCMer.
You think so?
I think he's a TCMer.
I think he's going to do Looney Tunes.
Because Jake's into, like, the Misfits
and
Halloween. Like, I think Mr. Jake's a TCMer.
Oh, Don is playing Scooby-Doo. I like that game.
Watch it right now.
Oh, Jake must not have heard us. He's delayed. It's all right.
But yeah, so animation.
You know who we almost forgot? Dwayne. We have an engineer that helps me all the time now. He's a wonderful older gentleman. He's a rocket scientist. At least to me, he's a rocket scientist.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, self-proclaimed rocket scientist. But yeah, he's been really helping us. I think that this game has mechs. I mean, just looking at it, I think you guys can see too. This game has some mechs that are above what we've done before, and we've really, really looked to keep upping those and make them interact with the ball in ways that we haven't been able to do before. So that's been really neat. And he's helped us get on that level. So.
Oh boy, Derek just came in and asked the big question.
Oh.
I don't even think you should answer it.
No, I can't. We're not telling anyone which one we like the best because we don't want to form people's opinion for them. We don't want to do that.
That's
we
fair.
Want them to find out on their own. You can't do
Ask me in like 20 years.
20 years? Well, I was going to tell them like next week. But
oh, okay. Yeah. You're very impatient.
Oh, the bookcase prototype. The bookcase prototype is to something.
It's to something. Might not even be to these games.
But I can bet you that you're going to see it. You're going to see it come out.
Thank you, Luke Peters, for answering so many questions in the Twitch chat for me, too. That means a lot. Awesome. I don't know. What else should we talk about? I think we've hit most all the major points up here. Oh, hey, actually, this is very important. Yeah, let's start talking about the game launch stuff tomorrow. First and foremost, no fan club membership is required anymore to get in on the day one sales. Nope. It used to be that the fan club membership, you would have to have a fan club membership for the first 2 weeks, was it? Yeah, like 2 weeks of a game sale or something. We did away with that. We're just not doing that anymore.
You also don't have to have an account on the website.
No.
Check in. I'm looking for the nod from Morgan. You're fine, unless you have anything you need to add.
She's like, I just really want to be on camera.
Here she comes.
She's like, I just really want to be on camera.
Just pop up behind us, over our shoulder.
Yeah, right between. You don't have to crawl across.
Yeah. Who are you hiding from?
Crazy dude.
Ta-da!
Wow. Morgan.
All right.
Tell us a bit about the website and how sales and stuff works.
Fine people need to know about Sales Day?
Yeah, so sales day is going to be a little bit different than normal. Like they touched on, no more fan club membership. It's not even active on the store right now, so can't do that. The website, thank you. Hi.
It's not hooked up for Facebook. This doesn't matter.
What? No! This whole time.
But speak up though.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, no fan club membership, not required. We will touch base on that a little bit more later. That's going to be just more of a supporting us, want cool stuff kind of thing anymore. It's not really involved with the games.
We're still going to do some really cool stuff with the fan club membership. I mean, you're still going to be getting a cool package with like a unique item of some sort in there. But it will have nothing to do with game watches.
No, nope, not at all. So don't worry about that at all. The website is all brand new in case you haven't noticed. You do not need to make an account anymore. So all of your account information has been wiped. So you do not need to have an account. You literally just throw it in your cart, put your credit card in, check out, bang, good to go. All good there. Sales open at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, emphasis on the Central Standard Time.
Luke and I couldn't be more distracted right now. This is so important. Yeah. It's probably the most important thing we're talking about tonight. Luke and I are just pissing off.
We're idiots.
Sorry.
So, yeah, do you guys have any questions for me or anything? Anything I can help with? Where did the nickname come from? Dang.
Nothing to do with game launch.
That would be our lovely father. Funny story, when I did join the company full time, I was like, hey Dad, I need an email since people are going to be reaching out to me for sales stuff and all that good stuff. And he's like, okay, how about one of the hardest words in the English language to spell?
Yeah,
Squirrel at spookypinball.com is potentially the worst email address
ever
in history.
It
is
so bad.
So unfortunately terrible.
So,
well, the best part is too. My email is spookyluke@spookypinball.com instead of just luke@spookypinball.com.
Mine's easy.
So a lot of people don't reach me all the time either.
Mine's bug@spookypinball.com is pretty easy, but the amount of times people think I'm saying bud or bub.
Seriously though, will the store crash?
I have been working so hard.
I really hope the web store doesn't crash because that one guy in Pinside's going to make fun of me.
Yeah, he's going to make fun of you a lot.
I have been on every phone call I could have been on for the past month.
I swear.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes. We should be good, but hang in there.
Yeah. I mean, the new website looks phenomenal. Like, Morgan really did a fantastic job getting that thing up and running, and yeah. I've been in on a few of the phone calls too, like begging and pleading for them to do anything they can to make sure that the website can hold during sales day. So we'll find out tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That was Central Standard Time. Because sometimes we don't post the time zones.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh god, you dropped the microphone down here. That probably sounds terrible. It's okay, we'll just leave it.
Oh, Twitch is still even on. I thought you just gave up.
I didn't abandon them.
Oh, I thought you just gave up over there.
Too easy over here.
Oh, well. I thought you were just done.
And it's Morgan's birthday. Nobody can invade you and sing happy birthday.
No, thank
we go to a breakfast cafe all the time, and they ambushed her with a birthday thing.
Yeah, distributors are same time. Everybody sells at the same time.
Yep, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time
tomorrow
morning.
Featurettes. They're coming out when.
I think he should just put it out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when Mr. Zach Many is in charge. He's
That's his
steering
thing.
the boat now.
Spooky Pinball won't technically be posting those. That is Mr. Zach Many. But once again, thank you everybody so much for joining us doing this Q&A. Hey, have we mentioned, thanks for all the kind words.
Yeah, seriously, guys.
Holy crap, what a positive launch it has been. I mean, the support from everybody on both sides has just been phenomenal. I mean, it's really, truly great to see. I'm glad. I think this is as good as a dual theme setup could be. I mean, it could not be more catered to. Here is the family fun option of this incredibly iconic thing that so many people know and love. And here is the most badass horror option you can ever hope for. Have I mentioned this? TCM, and I very confidently have been saying this, is the best horror game of all time. It's not even close.
Yeah,
I can't emphasize enough.
He's saying it.
TCM is the best horror game of all time, and it won't be a contest. I cannot freaking wait for you guys to get your hand. It's so goddamn good.
I think this is just good. This is a launch where I think it's a lot of things that we've been working on for a long time. Yes. We're just coming together. It's just everything we talked about tonight, everything that goes into a game. It's getting right, and it's coming together right, and we're gonna put it out there right. It's gonna be good.
I can say it 100 times. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. I'm excited for you guys to play it. I'm mostly excired for you guys to play it. I mean, it just plays so goddamn good.
She left. She's gone.
Now I get the nickname. True that.
All right.
True that.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Seriously.
Oh, you're ending this. Okay.
No, yeah. We don't got anything else, do we? Let's end on a high note here.
How long have we been going for? It's only been an hour.
Yeah.
Screaming streams don't go that short. We gotta do. I don't know. There's no gameplay, so I don't really. Thanks for everybody who watched me blow it on 9 reactors last week. Way to let everyone down.
It was as embarrassing for me as it was for you, really.
I doubt that. But stay tuned for more information. We're still just before we hopped on this live. Actually, we posted a breakdown matrix of all the features that are in the 2 different games. It explains what's in the CE, the Bloodsucker, and the Standard. So go ahead, check that out on our Facebook page. We're going to be posting more information still as this launch goes. Keep an eye out for those featurettes, guys. It's so freaking good. It's so cool. And really stick around for the end of the Looney Tunes featurette. It's
man.
Priceless. Stick around to the end of that featurette specifically.
You're going to see some things.
You're going to find out what Luke and I are like.
As humans. You might not want to. I don't know. I feel bad.
So sweet. Awesome. Right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. We hope you're there.
Yeah. Love you all.
Thank you so much for the support. And
spooky.
Party on, Wayne.
I'm sitting over here like I know how to exit out of this.
You're scrolling around like you know what's happening.